Denise Driehaus, thank you, Bill, for inviting me again this year. I represent the west side of Cincinnati. I want to tell you a little bit about me because it kind of forms how I approach this job. I'm married, I'm the mother of two. My son, the one that looks like a Driehaus, is back here at the table back here, my son Andrew. He's my field coordinator and I'm happy to have him. Just graduated with a political science degree from Ohio State University. So I'm tuition free with him and I'm glad of it. And my daughter just graduated from grad school. She's a special ed teacher out in Maryland. And I'm very proud of my kids. And primarily, I'm a mom. And I waited a long time to do this because I know the time and energy it takes to be a state rep and to run a campaign. And I simply wanted to spend time with them when they were around. And now I've got the opportunity to do this, and I'm grateful for it. I'm a small business owner on the west side, but I've been a state rep for a year and a half now. I'm a freshman. And when we talk about the budget, I just want to talk to you a little bit about economic development and what we're going to face in the budget, because the budget's going to be very, very difficult this year. $8 billion is what I'm hearing. $6 billion, $8 billion. It's going to be a looming gap in the budget. So I think it's incumbent upon us as state reps to understand what that means and what we need to invest in, because it's going to be a matter of investing. It's not government spending so much as it is government investing. And we need to understand what is important to invest in to create a better economy in the state. I sit on this board called the Development Financing Advisory Council. It's called DFAC. And small and medium-sized business owners come before us for low-interest loans. And these are folks that are investing in Ohio. They're expanding their facilities. They're consolidating in Ohio from other states. And when you ask them why Ohio instead of Kentucky or Indiana or Texas, they will tell you generally three things. Logistics is usually number one, and what they mean by that is the highways, the railways, the airports, the lake, the river. All these things are important to their running their businesses. And the fact that we're positioned in the middle of the country is a natural asset and a bonus for us in the state of Ohio, and they recognize that. The second one is generally an educated workforce, educated from top to bottom. So folks that are being retrained right now for a new economy in the state of Ohio, and folks that are graduating with higher degrees. They look to our educated workforce to employ. And if we don't have that in Ohio, they simply won't invest here. And we do have that in Ohio, and as Connie mentioned earlier, House Bill 1 reinvested in education in Ohio. And the third factor is generally the supply chain. How close is the guy that gives them the raw material to make what they make, and how close is the girl that they're selling to? And how cheaply and efficiently can they transport from one to the other? These are what's critical to business in the state of Ohio. And we need to get this, because as we move through the budget, we need to understand the dynamics of what creates jobs in the state. We also have to remember the safety net services that are so important to people that have either lost jobs or are disadvantaged in one way or the other, and we need to continue to support those, because those are investments in people. And we're going to pay for those investments one way or the other. We might as well pay at the front end when we can actually help people and embolden people, as opposed to the other end where someone has already gotten off track and now is in desperate need of our help. So that's the budget. Quickly though, I've got a piece of lid on the table. My priorities are education, jobs, housing, quality of life. But very quickly, let me just touch on foreclosure prevention work, House Bill 3. I was here 2 years ago talking about foreclosure prevention because my district suffers from a large number of foreclosed properties. And you guys know how difficult it is when you are being evicted from your home. So there's a benefit to keeping folks in their homes for the benefit of the family, but it also benefits the broader community. Because if there's a vacant home next to you, your property value went down, and that's not good for the community. So House Bill 3 talked about keeping people in their homes, foreclosure prevention. There were three tenets. Moratorium was one, licensing servicers was two, and a foreclosure filing fee was three, to help the housing counselors, thank you, help, I saw it, talk between the borrowers and the lenders. Let me just point out, now listen, that thing got passed out of the House, bipartisan support. Representative Stauffer sat in the interested party meetings, ultimately didn't agree, but we did try to work together, and it was a better bill. I'll admit it, after those meetings. We passed it out of the House. It's sitting over in the Senate. They will not move this thing, and we've told them we will compromise. Let's move something on foreclosure. So, the moratorium. Banks have now started to do their own moratoriums. You're reading this in the paper. That was in the legislation a year and a half ago. You are reading now where the AG's office is suing these servicers for fraud. That was in the bill. That could have happened a year and a half ago. We could have started tracking that activity. And the money that's coming down from the federal government now to help folks stay in their homes, we were going for money, oh my gosh, a year and a half ago. Think of how many people we could have kept in their homes. So I offer that to you because it's important that we understand our role. We're not overreaching. We're trying to help the folks in our community. And this is service. And we are here to serve the community. So my time is up. I thank you for your support.